Welcome back. Can you hear us? See us?
Let's check in with the people in the chat
Yeah.
to confirm whether you can see us and hear us. You might have to refresh your page. Let us know. But we are back here. We're looking at Peltier against Scholak. You were just saying this is a theoretical line.
I'm out of book by now. It looks sharp and complicated. Knight b5 has just been, or not just, had been played by Pelletier. Queen b4 check. King f1, rook d8. What a mess. Pelletier might also be thinking, what have I done to myself here, ending up in this chaos? I'm a classical player. I just wanted to get a small advantage, and now this mess is on the board. Knight c7 check, king e7, knight d5 check, c takes d5, e takes d5. White is a piece down, but there's a bunch of very nice central pawns. What can you tell us about either player?
I think Yannick probably not as active as he used to be. I think he just became a father for the second time. Dragan Scholak, I can't tell you much about him. You should know more about him.
I'm wondering if maybe I beat him once, then I'd like him. But I beat Pelletier once, but that's a very long time ago, so I'm not sure it still counts. And Scholak, no, I don't know much about him either. I'm pretty sure he did not always play for Turkey, but he's been the top board for them for a while now, and has been pretty good in the Turkish national team. And extremely solid, extremely hard to beat.
Do you know why Ipatov is not here?
I know absolutely nothing.
Anyway, let's come to the current position, because then we have to move over to the women's section. Jawbreaker is telling us that Gunina saw everything and is now winning, and we're also getting requests for Gaponenko against Giria. So we'll go there in a second.
This is the current position. Let's go to Gunina, who saw a lot of stuff. Knight g5, rook b7 doesn't really feel like the way to do it. But Gunina didn't want to take on e6. She's playing for checkmate. h3, queen b6, g4. She's always going for the kill. h6, bishop f6, rook d5, bishop d4. Bishop d4, a bit of a blunder, if you ask the computer. Yeah, it doesn't look like a good move, because after you're losing your key defender after rook d4, so that was a little gift. If you want to give up the bishop, at least give it up for the knight. Yeah, queen f6, which still looks fine for black. Bishop d4, rook d4, cd, and bishop e7. And this looks like a disaster.
Also, clock situation, just a minute for Janina, and I don't think she is going to survive here.
No, then again, I think if she had 7 hours here, it would not really change the outcome either.
What I'm trying to say is it's very likely we're going to see a handshake here very soon. I think we're working on getting the cameras back on the players. Don't think this game will go on for much longer. Let's check in with the other three boards.
Yeah, this is game over because there's too many threats. Queen d4 is a threat, and if the queen goes here, for example, then there's many ways to finish the game. The most picturesque, of course, h8 queen wins here, but this is nicer. Nowhere to go. Checkmate.
Very nice.
Oh no, sorry, this is... So what was the other game that people told us about?
Gaponenko Giria. So that's board 4 in that match.
Okay, nothing's happened here. Gaponenko's defending well, actually. Now she's getting the exchange back. I don't know what Giria's knight is doing on b3. This is weird. In this position after queen d2, you should try to open the king side, play f5. Yeah, f5 looked extremely strong. Knight a5 feels like the wrong direction. Yeah, this is very odd. Because f5 is really... You can just play this by hand. Go f5, f4. Anyway, knight a5 was played, rook d1, knight b3, and now it's equal.
Okay, so let's check in with the top board. Kosteniuk against Mosishuk.
Yeah, equal. Well, where does it leave us? Russia's doing well because Gunina is winning, I guess.
The only game we haven't looked at yet is Zhukova against Lagno.
Equal as well.
So Gunina, after losing in round 1 against...
So like you.
I'll get there someday, guys. She could be the hero here today, deciding the match in Russia's favor.
Must be nice.
Do you want to stick around or shall we move on? Probably we should move on. Time trouble is approaching. Wroblewski there. It's not... Oh, look at Luke. What do you make of him? Biting away on his nails.
We had a discussion yesterday because I'm very worried about my receding hairline, and Luke said he had no such problem, said he still had a full head of hair. I think especially from that angle you can see that there's a little missing as well, Lukey boy. Huh? Anyway, no, this match is a nail biter, of course, and you can see how, with all the kidding around we do, the Dutch, I think they actually get along very well and are supporting each other. And it's a close-knit team, even though I'm still trying to get them to turn on the captain. So the Geary game. Geary is also trying to make something happen against the ever-solid Peter Leko. Leko a little low on the clock, but so far he has managed to resist all of Anish's attempts to checkmate him. I guess you could try to take and then go rook c1. But after queen d5, the white king can always escape. It seems like, yeah, this is not the way to do it.
There's a question in the chat from Hans Gerhard.
Yes.
Short question. Is it permitted to consult with the captain about draw offers?
Yeah.
So basically, if you're offered a draw, you have to ask your captain.
Into queen f7 tactic you see sometimes, not that common, but also not unheard of. King f7, bishop d5. Sort of bad news. I'm sure there was a bit of a shocker. Probably Tommy thought he was doing well after knight g6. Well, I'm not sure if he thought that. Yeah, queen f7, sort of a cruel end.
Nice game. Well, we didn't play for the game, but looks like a nice game by Alan Stick Rasmussen.
Absolutely.
Okay, so back to the Dutch team, shall we? Check in with the other 3 boards. Let's start with board 2, Erwin Lamy against Victor Erdos.
Equal.
Okay, so board 3, Richard Rapport against Benjamin Bock.
Yeah, I guess equal as well, but here a Rapport could have a little something to work with, because the knight on b6 is dumb, and if it ever goes anywhere, then the white knight can invade the d5 square. So, yeah, this could be a little unpleasant for Benji. And then board 4, Jordan van Foreest against Zoltan Almashi is also equal. So a lot is riding on the outcome of these complications. In the Geary-Leko game, where Geary, you can see how hard he's been trying to complicate the issue. But it seems like Leko has not been rattled. Leko His rating is a little lower than you would expect it to be these days, 2670 something, I believe. But he can still play. In the Bundesliga weekend, he was also present playing for Deitzel. They had an easy draw with black against MVL and won his white game. So don't underestimate Leko. But of course, Anish is doing his job here, trying for the team to make something happen on the top board, because that's the best shot at winning.
I feel today maybe we neglected our defending champions and top seeds Russia a little bit. Shall we check in with them? They're playing against Czech Republic on board 2.
Not really. We've shown that in the Pomnishi game. I guess Grishuk made a draw, which is a bit surprising. I thought it was better, but probably feels okay. That will secure victory, because there's no way that Vityugov will lose. And there's also no way that Maxim Matlakov will lose, so Grishuk felt no need to mess around with the most dangerous Czech guy.
Okay, so where do you want to go?
I want to stick with the Leko Giri game.
Ervin Lamy and Victor Erdos have just agreed to a draw while we switched away. I guess there's still, I think you see the arbiter there just collecting the score sheets. There's someone in the way. Is that Luke? Go away, Luke.
Oh, and our friend Laurent Fressinet is going to check out the games as well. There. Your coach, Mr. Jansa, strolling around. Yeah, Luke, please sit down. I asked Luke in the break if he really apologized to Nigel Short. He was a bit cryptic, but it sounded like he had more to say on the topic. So Anish probably realizing now that there's no easy follow-up here after Leko's bishop takes b5. He'll burn a bit of time trying to find a way to make Leko's life tough. But there's always a tricky spot, because if you think a lot here, Leko, of course, also on the board, he can use the time to calculate as well. And sometimes you also are very tempted to make a move a little more quickly, because you want to keep your opponent in time trouble. While here, you spend all your time calculating rook d1, and odds are Leko will also be ready for this once it happens on the board. Oops, I closed the little program. My apologies.
So while we get the boards back up, let me see what has already finished. As we're saying,
Go ahead.
we are already, so I don't need to tell
Go
you
ahead.
anything.
What's the results?
Not too much happening yet. Croatia holding their own so far against Armenia. That's board 3. Something we could maybe check in with. 2 games have ended in a draw. The games with the black pieces, Levan Aronian against Ivan Saric, we saw this earlier, and Gabriel Sargsyan against Jankovic. So 2 games still running. This one we just opened between Sergei Movsisyan and Khvoye. I'm not very good at pronunciation of these names.
Me neither.
Stevic. So we're just waiting to bring that up.
Oh, sorry, I messed up the board size. Something strange. But no, it's fine. Yeah, nothing special happening here either. DC6, I guess he's gonna recapture. D4 looks a little weak. A5 looks a little weak. So it seems like black will win his pawn back. He's currently a pawn down. And equalize. Yeah, no problems for Stevic. That means Kumyan, but he wasn't better either last time we checked. We'll probably have to get the job done on board 4. It's another equal position. What's Mr. Martinovic's rating? 2565. Yeah, not outrated by all that much either.
Okay, there was a request earlier to go to Gelfand, Edouard Romain, so let's go there. Unless you just did that while I was away.
Gelfand winning. The legend of Israeli chess is saying, what is this? You think you can put Romain Edouard on board 1? Not going to be able to do it. And Gelfand managed to push his pawn all the way to a6. It's now going to go after the a7 pawn, after hg. Hang on, I can make the board bigger if you wish. Like this, and I'll wave this bar. Okay, we can put it with the engine bar. Now, you guys will know the truth. Just look at the bar. If it goes up, white is better. If it goes down, black is better. Here. What's happening? Timeout? Timeout? Are we going to break?
We're going to go on a quick break
Why?
to get the board back up properly. We'll be back with you.
It's the most exciting position we've had all day.
Break?
I don't know. Are we on break?
Okay, let's go.
See you guys soon. Welcome back, everybody, to the decisive phase of round number 3 of the European Team Chess Championship 2017. And In a bit of an anticlimactic finish, the game between Peter Leko and Anish Giri, where I was hoping for a time scramble, has ended peacefully. Anish took his time here, probably decided he can no longer be better. Combined his move rook takes d1 with a draw offer after queen. Queen takes d1. Leko accepted the draw offer, so queen takes d1 wasn't played. But after queen takes d1, Anish had probably concluded that nothing aggressive would really help him. Rook c1, queen takes d5, for example, and white is fine. So he thought before he would get into this tough spot, having to decide what to do here as a passive move, who knows, that it was wisest to offer a draw before Leko maybe realizes that he might even be better. And Leko took the draw. Come of this match. Hungary. I'm also fascinated by putting gel in his hair. I'm not sure if that's true. Who knows?
I think it looks more impressive on camera than it does in real life.
Oh, you're not a fan of his hair in real life?
No, I mean it just looks more spiky on camera, I don't think.
Okay. Could be. Anyway, as for the position, yeah, nothing bad has happened yet, and Bock is hanging around trying to improve the knight. Just feels like a very rapporty.
Also, time could be a bit of an issue here.
I've complimented Mr. Bock on his hair earlier, so yeah, this is very good. Good hair game.
We see a corner of Luke's face there. I wanted to go back to the France match because we saw Romain Edouard is probably going down against Boris Gelfand. Let's quickly check in with the other players in that match.
Alright, Christian Bauer against Maxim Rothstein is in trouble. He's been getting outplayed all game long. It has not been a good game for Christian Bauer. And it looks like a bit of a model game for the structure by Maxim Rothstein. Now queen h3, then g4, f3. It's a primitive, fairly effective plan. This spells trouble.
Not looking good for France at all, especially because the game between Elias Mirin and Laurent Fressinet was a draw, and then
something.
Yeah, so it looks like France.
Yeah, but Mazet is putting some pressure now. Monsieur Mazet. I would like to go here, but then before. And white keeps his pawn. Maybe Mazet can try to save it. Because, yeah, Edouard is gonna lose. Bauer is probably gonna lose, and that would be it. So, if one of them survives and Mazet wins, maybe 2-2.
Looking very unlikely. What about Mickey Adams? Did he lose this pawn?
I'm fairly sure he did. Yeah, this should be lost. The black king is too far away, and the white king will go after the a pawn. End the game.
Okay, let's check in with that match very quickly as well. So Nigel short against Duda.
Two pawns versus two, but Nigel still trying. How do you do it though? I don't know, staring at the position. I was looking for some way to checkmate black, but it won't really materialize. Rook f5 followed by e5 should equalize. Computer says that king b4 still gives white a good shot here. Then king c4, I guess, but I don't really understand it. Take. Why should this be better for white? It's almost checkmate, that's why. Very computery. I believe in a game between humans, and especially in a game versus Jan-Krzysztof Duda, calculating monster. This game should end peacefully.
Then on board 3, Kasper Purun against David Howell. We see the players there, both David Howell and Gawain Jones, deep in thought. What is this?
You know, he sacrifices queen, but I guess it's a fortress. Yeah, should be a draw. I think it's actually reasonably straightforward draw, even if you lose your 8 pawn. Yeah, this is a draw.
Okay, and then finally, Gawain Jones against
Mateusz Barta.
look at Fress, he's everywhere.
He's photobombing the whole thing. He likes to stand next to in his home native city of Paris. No, not native, but where he lives, Paris. He likes to stand next to the Tour Eiffel when the tourists show up and try to present a picture. Fress is always there in the background. That's what it does. Anyway, rook e5, fe, rook c7. Looks nice for white, but I guess it's nothing. There's no discovered checks. It's too bad. Yeah, should be a draw. So is England losing? According to
Looks
my
like
math,
it,
they're
yeah.
probably losing 2.5, 1.5. But Nigel might still get the job done. Let's see how Mr. Gawain is doing it. Did he take on e5? Yeah, rook e5, fe, rook c7 on the board. Now Mateusz Barta. Nodding confidently. They both have some time left, so it's not really time scramble. Oh, I didn't check David Howell's clock. Can he still lose on time?
Yeah, he's very short. I think he was under a minute when we were there.
42 seconds. But yeah, I think his position is solid. Even though Peter Wells looks a little stressed out. But yeah, since Mickey is losing, understandably. I was going to say, if white manages somehow to win the h-pawn, that would be a factor. Let's check in with them.
They are on board 3, so should be able.
Germans on board 3.
Yes.
Way higher than you would expect them. Yeah, get my
Board
winning
4,
exchange
my
up.
apologies.
That's alright. Vocaturo drew. Blue arm should draw. It's fine, slightly better. So yeah, Germany will win against Italy. No surprises there. Ooh la la doesn't work every day.
I mean, yeah, Ulala did running into German efficiency. Didn't go too
Bit
well.
of a stereotype.
Where do you want to go? Let's quickly. No, it's not. Okay, a match where all the games are still underway is Spain against Azerbaijan. Starting with David Anton against Mamedyarov.
Yeah, Nino was better earlier. Mamedyarov is tough. I recall back in 2005 in Gothenburg, I was still a young whippersnapper on the German national team. Played Mamedyarov, and not unlike Nino here. I was a pawn up, even though Nino's not a pawn up. But I had a big advantage against Mamedyarov. But I failed to convert it. All the veterans were very disappointed. No, they weren't. I think they were happy. Yeah, white was much better earlier because I did not like this exchange operation of giving up the h-pawn for the e-pawn on Mamedyarov's part. And Anton came up with a little trick here, bishop d6, bishop d8, bishop c5. Mamedyarov manages to keep the material balance by taking on a5. But white's still in driver's seat, bishop d4. But I believe that Mamedyarov should hold.
Just as we were speaking, I was saying all games are still underway, but Rajabov and Salgado Lopez have just agreed to a draw.
Yeah, good result for Salgado. Korneyev, is this still equal? Well, the queen got exchanged for a bunch of rooks. Should still be equal now. And Rauf Mamedov against Carlos Ibarra. Yeah, I always believe in Mamedov in these matches. It's too tricky. Yeah, looks like the tables have turned a little bit after Ibarra won the opening. That's not Mamedov's strongest part of this game. Now, here's this jumping knight. And yeah, the situation's under control. If black goes for checkmate here with g4, just loses his f5 pawn. Yeah, the Azeris, and they will somehow win this match, unless Nino Anton can defeat Mamedyarov, but I have my doubts. Nigel, this is an interesting endgame. This king b4 move is such a tough move to make. How much time does Nigel have? I saw 6 minutes for one move. This is a very crucial decision. So if you go rook h4, check king d5, it's probably too late to get that position. If you go rook c4, king d3 is coming, black is also too active. So he has to come up with this idea, but it's not an obvious idea to get this pawn.
I mean, still that final position we were looking at when the king gets to g1, I couldn't understand why the computer likes white so much here.
Yeah, also not true. He's trying to combine checkmating threats with other checkmating threats. Maybe in some ways you can also try to make this c-pawn run. Well, yeah. As I said, not a very human way to play this. I'd be stunned if Nigel came up with this. Can we see him there? How old is Nigel these days? Is he 51?
Sounds about right.
Any updates if he found a sightseeing company yesterday on his free day?
I don't know. I mean, as you said, you were with the English last night, but I think Nigel wasn't there.
He was absent.
Yeah, I was with them 2 nights ago, was also absent, so I'm not sure what he is up to here.
Very suspicious.
Anyway, let's go to the women's section. I think we've had a look at all the top matches in the Open.
Okay.
Valentina Gonina did beat Anna Osenina in the top clash between Russia and Ukraine. The game between Natalia Zhukova and Katerina Lachno finished in a draw. So either Anna Muzikchuk or Gaponenko will have to win their games if they want to save the match, but it's not looking very promising.
No, it's not. I can't currently bring up the games, but I'll be able to in a second. We just have to go full screen. And then we will investigate in great depth, if they can.
So while Jan is bringing up the games, what I can tell you about the women's section is that Poland is currently leading 1-0 against Israel on the top board. In the match between Georgia and Hungary, all 4 games are still underway. Between Turkey and Spain, only 1 draw so far. It looks like Russia is going to beat Ukraine, and we're going to check in with that now. Top board, Alexandra Kostyaniuk against Anna Muzikchuk. Oh,
Not
we're not
quite
there yet. I saw some women names, but okay. So what else is going on? It looks like, well, Slovenia is currently leading 1.5-1 against France with a victory by Teja Vidic against Pauline Guichard on board 4. The board 3 game between Daria Kaps and Silvia Colas was a draw, but it looks like France will hit back. We'll check it out in a second. But looks like France is doing better on the top 2 boards. Germany, Czech Republic, all games still underway. Belarus leading 1-0 against Azerbaijan, and Netherlands leading 2-0 against Slovakia. And here we have it. Ina Kapanenko against Olga Gibia.
Yeah, this is a draw, so what's going on in the other games?
So that means Anna Muzichuk will have to beat Kostaniuk to save a draw in the match.
Fun. Let's look what's going on camera. My little program is a little frozen, but sometimes a face says more than 1,000 computer lines. Who's that dude standing there? I know Rublevsky, so I mean the other dude.
He is from Ukraine. What's his name?
Brodsky.
Yes.
Ah, it's Brodsky.
Yes.
Right. Should have recognized him. There in the background, is that Michal Shishin?
Yes, who is the captain of the Turkish ladies.
So he was responsible for the rule change that you don't have to stay in the playing hall all the time?
Yes, he was very vocal about it, but I think in the end everyone was happy about the compromise.
What I'm talking about is the team captains. Originally, they were supposed to stay in the playing hall and not be allowed to leave it full time, which is not that interesting, I would guess, because the first couple hours, there's only so much you can do being a team captain. And therefore, they changed it that the captains have to show up at 5, 2 hours in, and then stay. Is that correct?
Yep. So basically, during the first 2 hours, they can come and go as they please.
Must be nice. We will also come and go as we please. Currently, we will go, and then we might come back with more chess.
What's going on in other matches? Something interesting today?
Yeah, well, the top match was interesting if Rapport can manage to...
But what, they have 3 draws and Rapport?
Yes,
let's
3
start,
draws.
let's start.
Okay, we're back. Yeah. Ugh, I'm an idiot, sir. No, I'm an idiot. Here we... You ready?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Welcome back, everybody. We are still here with former Vice World Champion Boris Gelfand, who won a nice game today. So let's get into it and have a look how it came about. Boris, what can you tell us?
Well, I think I played this new idea, this, move a bit forward. Yeah, it's there are thousands of games in this line, but this b5 and knight d4, e3, it's pretty new. I saw Daniel Dubov won against Pashikyan in European individual in Minsk. And surprisingly, my opponent started thinking a lot.
So b5 is rare, right? d3 I've seen
D3,
a million times d3 a5.
Yeah,
so.
d3 it's a lot of games. Yeah.
Okay.
But this new way, knight f3 takes. Okay, he played natural moves, d4, and I think ed4, and I think the position slightly better for me, but of course he's very solid, but nice start, yeah? And already here I had maybe like more than half an hour advantage, which is always nice, yeah? Rook e1 is natural move, and here, okay, a4 is natural move. And here I start liking my position, you know, but many ideas, maybe bishop f4 was interesting. Basically, it's kind of Catalan pressure on the queen side.
Yeah, it's unpleasant for black. It's
Yes.
6 you never want to play.
No, c6 he cannot play, but also what I did was natural a5, knight d5, take, and bishop f4. And it's not easy for him to break through, because always if he exchanges, always I have this at the a6, and this weak a7 pawn, it's not a draw, yeah? And maybe he could give up a pawn somehow, like bishop f8, but still it's a pawn. I take on d5, I take on c7. Okay, it's a pawn, a healthy pawn, yeah?
Very unpleasant.
Yeah, he played rook bc8, natural move, and here I had this nice idea. Bishop g4 to weaken him, f5, and bishop f3. Actually here, move back, instead of bishop f3, I had trick idea to play bishop h5. Okay, g6 is always in my favor, but rook e d8, and here bishop f3. Maybe it was, but here he can play bishop f8 maybe. But hard to decide, yeah, both moves seems nice, slightly better in both cases. But here I put a kind of a trap, and he felt it, like bishop f6, bishop e5.
Until here, it's not easy to say where he went wrong, right? Or he made
Yes,
wrong
no, but it's unpleasant, yeah. But also here, maybe he could play rook e6. But still, I have some ideas, yeah. Maybe I can play rook b2, rook b2, or something. Somewhere. I don't know, rook e3, queen e2, I don't know. But what he played seems natural. He already was quite short of time. He took on rook c8. Also, I could take with rook. Also was interesting to exchange one pair of rooks. But I thought,
e5, sorry.
yeah. But I thought it's okay. What I liked, because it's a trap. Rook c8, what he played, and now I took queen c2. I think he missed it because rook e5, rook e d1.
Oh, some nice geometry.
Yes. And now he has to play queen f7, c6 on hanging on f5. I take and take on f5. And here I like my idea a6 and queen c6. I want just go and take a7 pawn.
It's a bad chance to take on a6?
I'm not sure. I take on rook b7 as the next move.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And here b6, and here it was a funny trick. Queen c6 I played, rook e6, queen b7. Here it was stupid trick c5, I thought.
I was just gonna ask, c5 takes, and
rook e7. And the simplest is rook b d1, I
Rook BD1. Yeah?
Takes. A takes, or rook d8,
Rook D8
whatever.
takes, yeah.
A takes wins, yeah. So many pawns. First I didn't say rook bd1, but I thought I could allow to take, and I would, with all these pawns, I would win, yeah.
Right.
And he played f4, maybe it's a good idea, looking for counter chance. Rook bc1. I took. I took with h. Rook f8. Rook f1. And here I don't know. Maybe he had to take on e5. And rook c7 I take. And here he could go, let's say if he goes to f6, I take, and he doesn't have threats. And rook g5 he can go. Yeah, here. But then rook cc1. Rook cc1, I protect, yeah? Another idea was if he takes... No. Yeah, queen, yeah. Queen f6, queen f7, rook e3, rook g7.
Yeah.
Queen g6 was maybe most tricky, I thought. Queen g6, queen takes a7, and maybe rook g5, rook c3 again.
So that's not enough, huh?
Looks like not enough. Yeah. Rook e3 I take again, yeah?
If he takes the pawn, you just go queen b7.
Yes. Okay, maybe here he can try, but doesn't seem sufficient to live. Hard to believe.
Then
No, but here it's
He
simple
collapsed.
already. I take, and okay. Queen g2 is good enough, but okay, it's more precise. Takes, and he has to take. Rook a8, rook f6. Okay, a7 maybe not so convincing because queen a6 I didn't want to allow it. So I simply play queen b7 and no defense, a7 rook.
Oh, sure. Nice victory. It looked easy out of the opening. You just
Yeah,
crushed it.
thank you. But no victory is easy nowadays.
No, I know it's not easy. You made it look
nowadays
easy.
nothing is easy, yeah.
How's the team doing?
We won today, yeah. We are 2.5/2, and one game, I don't know, we have complicated endgame. I didn't have time to check here.
Rothstein won already. Yeah, that looks
Rothstein
like
won, and
one game too.
Mazen Abati is complicated ending. Who is to move?
White to move.
But still okay, we are not in danger of losing, yeah? Most probably it's a draw, yeah?
Looks like.
But if something can win, it's white, yeah? It's black, yeah? But also
No
white,
idea.
yeah?
Probably draw. Huh?
Probably draw.
Of course. Not good enough.
Yeah, okay, it would end up maybe rook and pawn against knight and 2, which is dead draw, yeah?
Can you tell me something about this guy Nabati? Because I have to
Yeah.
admit I'm not very familiar with him, but I just checked. He's 2.661 already.
Or something like this, yeah. And he is like very sharp player,
Okay.
very, goes for complications normally. That means sometimes unstable, yeah, but okay, he is playing a lot and he improved, so it's good to have, it's always good to have, new people coming to the team.
Some young sharp guy with.
Yeah,
all-
but he
all the
played
also-
already. He's
Oh,
not.
okay.
He's more 20 plus, yeah.
Yeah.
And he played already a few times. But okay, it's very. We're all happy he improved during last year.
Mhm.
His rating went up, and okay, it's good. It's good news
Absolutely.
because we are maybe one of the oldest teams in the event, yeah.
I didn't check, but
I think 3 players played, each of us played, I don't know, more than 15, 20 international events.
I like telling people that my first ever chess book was some German book called Kasparov's Schacheröffnungen. There were games by Ilya Smirin and by you, and I think it's early 90s that I got it, so
Yeah.
you guys were around for a while. That's
Yes,
for sure.
yes. My first Olympiad was, my first European team was in 1989 in Haifa. I played for Soviet Union. In 1990 I played my first Olympiad. NVIDIA probably, his first Olympiad was Manila 92.
I think the game. Yeah,
Yes, and
because he lost some famous King's Indian to Kasparov, which was in the book. Maybe there was Manila.
No. He lost in Soviet Union Championship, I think. It's a great game.
Yeah, it's very
In 88, it's really a great
88.
game. And if I'm not mistaken, at the very end, now Engine found the beautiful that Kasparov misplayed and Ilya could save, but miraculous way. It's very beautiful.
Okay, I'll check.
But really great game from Kasparov, of course, but also from both sides. Yeah.
Speaking of chess books, you've written some chess books, which
Yes.
I enjoyed greatly. The first two. Is there more coming? How's
Yes,
that
yes,
project
sure.
going?
We're on the way, but both of us have been pretty busy this year. I played a lot. Jakob was busy with his stuff, so we progressed slower than expected. But we decided we wouldn't compromise on quality, and okay, we progress. Yeah, so I believe that in 2018 book would be out. If not, chess fans should wait a bit more, but it will be more books, not only third, but fourth and fifth. It's in our plans, and we are working on it.
Yeah. If you haven't seen the first two, I honestly can recommend them. I read both of these books in one setting. Highly recommended by Boris Gelfand with the help of Jakob Aagaard. What's your process? Jakob, he writes the words and you tell him about it. You guys have phone conversations? I know you talked about
We
it.
speak on Skype, and we select games, and then I start explaining. And Jakob, as experienced trainer, asks questions because some things seems very natural to me. Yeah, I would never pay attention, and he knows that for many readers, maybe it's a key point.
Maybe it's also helpful that he's not a very good player. So that
But but then he writes, yeah, because okay, his English also is much better than mine.
okay.
He knows how to write, yeah. My first book, my most memorable games, I wrote by myself, and many people told me that the English, it's not perfect. Okay, it was someone corrected and things like this, but okay. Also, it's much easier for me to speak than to write.
Right.
Different people, for some people, it's easier to write than to speak. Each person is different.
I prefer speaking to.
Yeah. Okay. Now you have big experience. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we are working, and then we check, and we go on many things. We found beautiful things, so we don't stop. We advance, and we look at more possibilities. So we want to combine both instructive point of chess and also to show the beauty of chess. Because some lines maybe they're off topic, but they're so beautiful that it's we cannot ignore them. Yeah?
Yeah, it's always a tough decision.
Yeah, but we try to find the balance, and what I heard from people, a lot of people enjoy it,
I
from
enjoy it.
world champions to many people who stop me in any tournament and tell they enjoy it, and it's I'm really happy because it was a goal that it would be instructive. So let's say club players could learn a lot, but also it wouldn't be too simplistic. So let's say even great players would have something to learn there. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Like I can tell you from people I heard. Svidler called me, he said you have to get Gelfand's book. I read it in one setting, so I got the book and also read it in one setting. So even for Grandmaster, I think it's very effective.
Yeah. I hope so. Yeah, and we'll go on. Yeah, third volume is in process, and we have ideas and about some more volumes, but it would take time.
Yeah, as quality should. But we're looking forward to them. Last question. Can you give your opinion on this endgame? This is the match on the top board. Hungary between Netherlands. It's 1.5, 1.5. And I wasn't sure how serious Rapport's winning chances were here. It's black to move.
But what to play?
No, rook e7.
Rook 7, knight e4. Takes. Rook b, knight b6, rook c6. Maybe defendable, but unpleasant, yeah? Unpleasant. Likely it's defendable, but you know, now they'll be short of time. A lot of things can happen. Maybe knight d5, yeah, and get knight for contrplay, but we don't know. Who knows what's going on?
But some decent chances for white, yeah?
Yeah, of course. I mean, practical chances are pretty decent.
Yeah, he went to b6, actually. Yeah.
But maybe knight a4,
Takes.
rook b8, yeah, but rook c7. Knight c3, knight d6. Maybe he wants to. Maybe that's what he wants, just to liquidate and to play on one side, yeah. Then even if he would lose a pawn, he would have chance in rook ending, yeah.
Right.
Maybe that's his intention. But look, Rapport is making some move. Maybe knight
Yeah,
e4.
knight e4 looks like, yeah?
Or maybe d3, I don't know. I think he made a move.
Looked like knight e4, I believe. Takes. Yeah, knight e4.
Ah, yeah, because knight d6, it's a rook and then pawn up, yeah?
You just take and then check, probably.
Yes.
This looks nice for white.
Looks nice.
Okay, we'll keep you posted. Thanks a lot, Boris Gelfand.
Thank you.
Best of luck to your
Jan.
team.
Thank you. Jan.
Thank you.
Hope I'll have the reason to come again.
By all means, you're always welcome here.
Okay,
Thanks
see
a
you.
lot. So we'll do a brief tour through the games that are still ongoing now. People have made it past the first time control, and we'll see if there's still anything exciting. And click on my little running games button and will tell me here. On the top boards, there is still the end game between Vityugov and Zbigniew Gracek, but that's not particularly exciting. Should end in a draw. Maxim Matlakov versus Wojtek Platt. I guess Matlakov is still trying to make something happen, but it's not obvious he's better here either. After f takes e4, queen takes e4, knight to d2, queen to d3, knight c4, for example. Seems like the game should end peacefully as well. Then in the Germany match, let me actually bring up the scores so I can tell you guys what the current scores are. 1 second. All right, here we are. So Russia is up 1.5. Half Gracek and Platt have the thankless task to win one game between them to equalize the match. But it looks like Russia will score another efficient 2.5 victory versus the Czech Republic. In the Germany match, 3 games are still going. Only the top board has been drawn. So we'll do a very brief tour. Georg Meyer should still be winning with his extra exchange against Sabino Brunello. Daniel Tvirny still roughly equal against Matthias Blüber, but maybe Matthias made some progress now. Yeah. White pawns look a little vulnerable. Check. Well, maybe it's still tenable for white, but certainly, if anybody's better, it's black with these 3 isolated white pawns. Rasmus Vane on the bottom board, putting pressure against Michele Godina. Actually, it's more than putting pressure, he's just winning after he picked up that pawn. Yeah, this is game over. So the Germans will win the match against Italy. No particular problems. We've seen with Boris Gelfand that Israel already won their match and are en route to be a serious contender for the medals. Then in the Nigel short game, where I was claiming, nah, king b4, this is not a human way to play, Nigel did do exactly that, and after king d4, rook c4, king d3, rook h3, king d2, rook h2 check. Rook h2 does not find favor with the computer. That preferred rook c c3, tending to keep this check in reserve for later. But rook h2 check, how bad can it be? Worst case scenario, you can repeat. Ah yeah, that's what happened. He repeated once, and now he went for rook c c3. So Nigel is playing this endgame expertly, posing a lot of problems. And even though he's currently a pawn down and only has one pawn left, what's the camera situation? Is that Benji Bok? Benji, get out the way. I recognize you. Nigel, yeah, looks like he's still asking questions. Duda has to defend. Rook f2 looks like a good start. Just covering this second rank against all kinds of shenanigans. We'll see if Short can make it happen here, because the English need a win, since Mickey Adams went down surprisingly quickly against Radek Wojtaszek on the top board. There is some suffering to be done. David Howell should be a draw, but no more than that. Looks like a bit of a fortress here with the black pieces. And Gawain Jones is certainly not better either after that, say, e3. So Nigel is our last chance to win the game. There we see Peter Wells, the captain, drinking some water, does not look thrilled. Another match that is still very much in full effect is the match between the Spaniards and the Azeri, where Nino Anton on top board is still putting pressure against Shah Mamedyarov. I cannot judge if this is necessarily winning, but certainly problems for Shah. Let's say king here. We try to bring the king. Should d4. Well, king e3 is looming. g6 or whatever. King e3, king f5. Check takes, and all the white pieces work together perfectly to push the c-pawn up the board. This should just be winning. So Nino Anton with very good chances to score another big scalp. Nino Anton has defeated the likes of Vasilin Topalov and Boris Gelfand in the past as well. I'm not sure how much longer we can call him Nino Anton. That's what everybody calls him, which means Kid Anton. Even though nowadays he's not that young anymore. How old is he? 23? Nino growing up. Still, if he were to win this game, then of course Spaniards might be in with a shot. Akai Najic versus Oleg Korneyev, I still believe is around equal. Akai Najic, I'm sure, will try to make something happen, but black-white is such a solid structure that will be very tough to open the position up. And one rook on c2 should be possible to deal with. I'm sure Najic will try, but it feels to me that it should be a draw. And Mr. Rauf Mamedov, very complicated position against Jose Ibarra here. King g7, intending rook h8, queen h1, checkmate is some serious counterplay, so we have to be very careful. King g7 here, intending to give this mate. It's very possible that Rauf doesn't have anything better than going for a perpetual check here by means of queen e1 followed by rook e7. So if that's the case and Nino Anton is better on board 1, it's not even out of the realm of possibilities that the Spanish could win this match against Azerbaijan. That would of course mean that Azerbaijan would be pretty much out of contention. To lose to both Spain and Italy would be a bit much for their title hopes, which I'm sure they harbored. Not there yet. A lot can still happen, but currently the most likely to me feels that Anton should win his game on the top board against Mamedyarov, and both Korneyev and Ibarra should draw their games, which would lead to 2.5, 1.5 for the Spaniards against the favorites from Azerbaijan. There we see their reserve player Manuel Lopez, aka Super Lopez, strolling around in the Espana uniforms. Good day for Spain, it seems like. How's Scotland doing today? Neil Berry against Dejan Stojanovski. Where's the... Oh yeah, Scotland lost their game on the top board. FIDE master Alan Tate went down against international master Pansevsky. But Neil Berry on board number 2 versus Stojanovski is Slightly worse, actually. I was going to say going strong, but I'm not so sure. Who else do we have? Scotland actually not on the bottom board. Scotland we talked about the other day, by far the team with the lowest average rating, but it seems, I'm not sure how they do the pairings, seems like the bottom board is not occupied by the lowest average rating team. But Austria versus Belgium is the match there. Is it? I'm confused now. In Austria versus Belgium, the only game that's still going is the one on board one where Markus Rager should win because he has these 2 pawns very deep in Hovhannisjan's camp. Let us take a brief look at the women's section and their big top match between Russia and Ukraine appears to be over. Is that over? I will figure it out in no time. If I have one skill, it is finding out results within like 55 seconds. Which I think is pretty impressive. It's up to 1 for Russia. And which game is still going? And okay, 55 seconds. I might have promised too much. But it looks like the game between Kostenyuk and Musicchuk on board number 1, which we've always evaluated as equal. Still in full swing, and yeah, after a4, tending b5 should this knight ever move. White at the very least can never be worse. Could white be better is the question. I guess not if black's careful and just centralizes her king. That should end peacefully. At the very least, it does not feel like Anna Musicchuk will be able to score the 2-2 here for Ukraine. And yeah, if Russia were to win that match, thanks to Gunina's victory, it would of course be a big step. Small step for humanity, but a big step towards the gold medal for Russia. Did I say that right? In other news, Hungary is up 1-0 versus... No, Hungary is down 1-0 versus Georgia. Okay, my result reading skills aren't as impressive as advertised. Nana Zagnitze on the top board is trying to win a rook endgame versus Juan Tantron. Objectively, this should be a draw, but we've seen in the Nigel short game, these double rook endgames are tricky if you can get any initiative. There on camera, by the way, we have Kostenyuk and Anna Musicchuk, both still completely focused. And Brodsky, the Ukrainian team captain, trying to give Kostenyuk some angry looks, but Kostenyuk, I think, understands. She's not in trouble here, and she should score the I can't speak. 2.5 point to secure the 2.5 victory. So Zagnitze should be a draw in the Georgia match. Probably gonna witness a showdown between the Russian squad and the Georgian squad in one of the next rounds. To the Open and back to Benji Bok. Benji Box. I'm out of things to say. Sotir, is anything happening out there? What are we missing? What do the people want to know? Let me check the chat, maybe. Maybe they're telling me stuff. What am I missing? Where's the drama? Mr. Dodgy is asking, if Fisher clock is to measure how long you go fishing for. I believe that is probably accurate. Good observation there by Mr. Dodgy. Do people... There must be something like sports fishing, right? But I'm not sure if they use clocks. But we can probably find out. Sports fishing time control. Feels like the right thing to Google. In this tournament, by the way, the time control is 90 minutes plus 90 minutes for 40 moves plus 30 seconds increment, and then 30 minutes plus 30 seconds increment after move 40. Alright, so Fishing Time Season 2 is the first hit that I got. What's that? But it doesn't seem to answer my question really. Nada, it doesn't feel like they have a time control. Recreational fishing, also called sports fishing, is fishing for pleasure or competition. Can be contrasted with commercial fishing, which is fishing for profit. No such distinction in chess, like recreational chess, sports chess, commercial chess, all the same thing. Rules and regulation. Recreational fishing has conventions, rules, licensing restrictions, and laws that limit the way in which fish may be caught. Nothing about time control. Seems to be a bit of a problem if dudes can just fish forever. Okay, now that we've learned that, let's go back to young Mr. Bock. Not quite as young. I was going to say not quite as young Mr. Rapport, but I'm not sure who's older between those two. What's happening, Fiona? Anything out there that we need to tell the people about?
I have no idea.
You have no idea? Who's older, Benjamin Bock or Richard Rapport?
I would say Benjamin Bock.
Bock
Also
is
have no idea.
22, born in 95, and Rapport. Probably I should have googled Richard Rapport, because now I get a definition of rapport, which is if people get along or something. Richard Rapport, born in 96. He's younger indeed. It's close.
I was saying earlier, I thought, or I think, Benji was going to hold. What's happening?
Yeah, he's still trying to hold, still under pressure, but so far he's doing well. Only 3 pawns left on the board. Oh, I see this little circle that normally means program about to freeze. No, Benji still hanging in there. He's tough.
What's happening in the Azerbaijan match?
They'll lose 2.5, 1.5 to Spain.
Is Anton winning?
Yeah, it felt like.
Also, what's happened, something we haven't looked at, I think, or maybe you did when I was away, is a Nigel short. The last thing I saw is he did indeed play King B4.
Yeah, we did look at that. He has some winning chances now.
Okay. What about the last two boards, David and Gawain?
Draw.
Okay, so everything will depend on Nigel.
That's how it felt like.
There we see the two captains. On the right, Kamil Mitton, Polish captain, and on the left, he just went out of screen, but Pete Wells was there a second ago. So we're now looking at Gawain Jones against Mateusz Bartel. Is this just a dead draw, or can Bartel try and worry?
Draw, but yeah, it's a draw. There's not enough pawns left. So you need a bit of a miracle. My apologies. Producer is outside the building, I think maybe could have hit the mute button. Oh, here's a mute button. Oop,
it's quite far away.
Anyway, sorry if I broke your headphones or your ears, even worse.
Okay, so let's quickly go to, or if you just looked at it, then we don't need to go there. Where do you want to go?
I don't want to go anywhere.
I think there's still actually today more action on the top boards going on in the women's section. I don't know if it's open or not. Okay, so let's look at this match again between Poland and Israel from board 1. Poland is currently leading 1-0 thanks to a victory by Claudia Coulon against Michal Lahav. And how is Monika Sochko getting on?
Draw.
Draw, okay. Then on board 2, Marcela Fremski against Jolanta Zawadzka.
Black's better.
Looking good for Team Poland. And finally on board 3, Karina Szepkowska against Masha Klinova.
It's complicated. So what's the situation overall? Israel's doing fine, or what was it?
No, they're down 1-0 and in trouble on board 2. And here
looks like my cuffing did one good thing. It did burst Mr. Dodge's eardrums. Who's now starting to, now that he can't hear anything anymore, starting to whine. Sorry. Yeah, what were we talking about? This. I'm so.
you said it was complicated and then you left that hanging in the room.
Yeah, so complicated.
Are we back? I think we're back. Then we can look at the board 2 match as well between Georgia and Hungary, where Georgia is leading 1-0 as well. By the way, Spain have very, very convincingly beaten Turkey 3.5-half in a match which on paper they were actually outrated on every board but board 3, where they had a 4-point Elo lead. So great result there for the Spanish ladies.
They're on fire after winning 3.5-half yesterday versus, I believe, Romania, where they was slightly outrated. Today another 3.5-half. Spain is crushing it.
With their super coach, Divis.
Yeah, I keep wondering if there's any scenario where Musicchuk could still win this game, but I don't really see it happening. All right, I'll go back to the Open and we will see. Okay, since the camera is on the England match, we'll go there. Wayne Jones is trying, I guess, to defend his end game versus Mateusz Bartel, which won't be very complicated in my estimate here after King to D5. I was taking on E6, but that's probably the one way to bungle it, because here after G4, Knight H4, Rook H6, well, there's no pawns left. With this king on the first rank, there's a very legit chance of getting checkmated here. You could use this king, this pawn as, what do they call this? An umbrella, I think that's how Dvoretsky termed it in his book. And it's very hard to stop. King F4, King G3, bit of a topic. So, I don't know, King G6 maybe.
I'm not sure how confident I am David is going to hold this, I have to say. With 6 minutes on the clock for now is still okay-ish, but they're going to take down very, very quickly, and then to hold this on increment, tough task ahead.
Yeah, maybe it's not a fortress. Magnus Carlsen famously said he doesn't believe in fortresses because they can typically be torn down. And now that, spotted this A4 B5 break, this is a bit of a problem, because I'd be uncomfortable having to run around with the king here, since there's always some nasty Queen F8 ideas. So, yeah, could be that Casper Bjorn will make all of Nigel Short's very honourable winning attempts in vain, because England would lose the match no matter what. But this position against Duda now looks like it should be a draw as well, because there's always enough counterplay to stop even if you were to lose your rook. Something like this. Here. And it ends peacefully.
Yep. Let's go back. Bolo Canolo saying, looks like Mama is lost against Anton. Let's go back there.
Oops.
Jawbreaker is saying 1-0. Maybe the game is actually over. And we're back, and we're going to continue our run through the results of the open section. I am not sure if you can see them right now because I'm not sure what we're showing. But so on board 9, I mentioned it already, Ukraine beating Portugal 3.5. Belarus did beat Slovenia. Then on board 11, Serbia. Oh, I didn't even notice we had this Serbia-Montenegro clash. But Serbia convincingly taking this one 3.5. Switzerland going down to Turkey, Georgia beating Iceland, Norway beating the Faroe Islands, and then finally on the last 6 boards, Greece 2 made a draw against Slovakia, the local Cretan team lost to Moldova. Scotland on the verge of creating a massive upset here today by beating Macedonia. We'll check in with Graham Morrison very shortly. Then Albania seem to be on their way to beating Kosovo. Denmark, that could be another upset in the making. I didn't see that one. Looks like Finland could be on their way to beating Denmark despite a miniature win by Rasmussen against Nübek. And finally, Austria beating Belgium. So shall we go to that Scotland match?
By all means.
And then check in with Finland against Denmark.
Yep, Morrison is winning against Nikolovsky. This is a great day for Scottish chess. Congratulations.
How about Finnish chess? Who was the player who still... Kalle Niemi playing against Mats Hansen on the last board in a match which is tied 1/2 at the moment.
Kalle won.
Okay, so congratulations to Finland. Where do we go back to now? Do you want to see the results of the women's section? Let's do that.
Yep.
Well, but I'm not. Yeah, in England, and with the top board match, I would say, and see if Marcel Efraimski has any chance of. We're going to see if Israel can stage a comeback here.
Yep, so what's going on?
On top board, we had a draw between Monika Soczko.
This is over?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Poland at the moment leading 1.5, and this is the game I was interested in.
Feels like the same position as an hour ago. Did Savacka fall asleep? What's going on there? It's also unlikely she let all her time run out here. And that it still moved 36. I don't believe this is position.
Yeah, let's see.
Might have to do some detective work. Do we have cameras? Maybe we can zoom in.
Yeah, I mean, I do have. They are currently on board 52, so I'm not on move for 52.
Not there yet. We're stuck on move number 36.
Yeah.
And also the Masha Klinova game. Seems like it froze here, which is a great pity. Hang on, maybe I can click some buttons. I'm good at clicking buttons. Yep, button clicking helped. Now we're back. And what's going on? Draw. You can take it. And now, depending which side of the fence you're on, white can't win in spite of 2 extra pawns, or black can't win in spite of 2. Connected pass pawns because it's a draw.
Then on board 3, Karina Szepkowska against Masha Klinova.
That is the pairing indeed, and feels like Masha Klinova is now in the driver's seat in spite of being a pawn down. She understands that with opposite color bishops, the initiative is more important than the pawns, and here the white pawns block the white bishops, so there's not a lot of initiative to be had. Well, black can jump around on the dark squares and ask some questions. So, Sepkovska is now fighting for the draw. And Michal Lahav on the bottom board went down against Claudia Kulan ages ago. So I still don't know where that leaves us, but someone's going to win the match.
Yeah, I'd have to say this one is still very, very unclear.
Is it though? No, Israel is winning, right? Or maybe not.
I mean, to win the match, they would have to win the 2 remaining games.
Yeah. Nah. This one should be a draw between Fromsky and Savatska and Klinova.
I think it will come down to whether Klinova can win to draw the match.
I agree.
We can check in with the German ladies. Sarah Holt still playing and Marta Mischner.
Where's that? Do I have to scroll down a lot? Are they doing badly?
It's on board 6.
What 6?
Just one below the, yeah.
Oh, this is exciting. Rukan game. But feels equal to me. I'm not an expert. Should be. And no, this is not. Zhazhulkina or I believe here the side with the extra.
Mamadova and Ejushik.
Just to be clear, Yarova and Mamadova are on the same team?
Yes.
Okay, just checking. Here, the good news for White is Black doesn't have an extra bishop. The bad news is she doesn't
belong, sign language and whatnot. And I think she now has 3 or 4 children, and she still plays sometimes, but a lot less than she used to. I'm not sure she makes the team by rating anymore.
If I can interpret the camera signals correctly, it looks like the match between the English and the Polish is over. So let's find out how it ended. Why can't I see how it ended? Nah, I can't find it. So I'll assume it was something like 2-2 or 2.5 or something like that.
So let's see, on board 2.
No, it was 2.5. Poland won. Congratulations, Poland. They drew the 3 games on the bottom boards and 1 on board 1.
Yep. Let's go back to Benjamin Bock and Richard Rapport.
But mainly Benjamin Bock. Benji, still defending.
And Luke's still around.
Like a Bock. Luke has no choice, he's not allowed to leave.
I mean, he could just leave him on his own, but that would take the bullying maybe a step too far.
Are you allowed to leave if you're the team captain or what?
I think you can delegate it to the player to just sign it.
That's what I always did. I told them I'm not going to show up in the playing hall. Last to finish signs the thingy. Because frankly, you can't do very much as a team captain sitting there. Well, you could use that time preparing openings, sleeping, so you can prepare openings at night. I don't know, catching up on some TV. There's a lot of things to do. Networking. Anyway, no, not a vague check. It looks like, there's not much going on anymore. King E7.
And I think they just shook hands as we were speaking. Match ended in a draw. Kudos to Benji, who hung in there after Rapport put quite some pressure throughout the game. And fighting 2-2 draw there on top board between the Netherlands and Hungary.
Yep, let's have a look. What's still ongoing? Nikita Vityugov still has to ensure his team's victory. 2 versus 2 pawns, but White does have the passed H pawn. So still a bit of hope for the Spunek Racek and the Czech Republic. But probably not a lot. F5, H6, knight F6. Yep, 2.5 half. They won already. So it's a reverse oh la la day for Italy today. They'll lose half, 3.5. That's not a good score for them. Spain, however. Knight H1 his game in the meantime.
So let's go back to